good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depends on what time you're watching this video. Today I'll be talking about one of the topics I've been discussing over time. At different channels like radio stations like Rhythm FM, People's FM and also, and some masterclass sessions. It is faith for business people. I've had these sessions over time at various time, location, days, and the topic is so crucial because faith to many people is not properly defined. So I'll come from the perspective that we all align with, which is biblical perspective. Faith is not believing in something because you need something to believe on for faith to be actualized. Right? So faith, if I say this verse now, you will know faith comes by hearing and hearing. So meaning faith is acquired. Faith is not inherent. So when you say faith for business people, it means there's something you must acquire that leads to business and links to business that makes you operate in faith. So let's bring down that phrase back now. Faith for business people. When you say faith, or we agree that faith comes by hearing and hearing. Now, what you hear determines what faith you produce. Let me give you a clue now. If you're an accountant, you became one because you were trained by many accountants, or let's say lecturers who give you curriculums based on accounting. And over the course of 4 years or 5 years, based on whatever institution you went through, you started thinking like an accountant. Or you're a doctor. 6 years, 7 years, you were wired to start thinking like a doctor. Your brain was informed. So if someone's supposed to have faith in healthcare, I'm not talking about faith in healing now. That's another thing entirely. Faith in healthcare practice, meaning this person can only function at their level of knowledge in healthcare. Let me give you a very simple clue now. You went with a friend to a hospital and you're supposed to have a surgical procedure on your friend. And you saw this young looking guy, looking passionate and, agile to perform the surgery. And before they go in, you were like, sir, please, can I ask you a question? Well, go ahead. Said, you now asked him, how long have you been practicing medicine? How long have you been doing this surgical procedure? He said, never did one. I'm just passionate. And I have faith it's going to work. Then you now asked him, how knowledgeable are you about the procedure? He said, I'm passionate. I have faith. Will you allow your friend to go in for that surgery? The answer is no. Okay? And this same law applies to every industry. In music, in art, in fashion. You can only apply faith based on what you know in that industry or that niche. Let's go spiritual now as well. Those who want to have faith in healing or faith for healing, the more you know about healing, the more healing you can operate in. Those who want to have faith, anything else, like you need knowledge to apply faith. You need something to believe on. And you don't believe on abstract idea or illusion or common sense. You believe on accurate truth. So in business, there are a lot of times where crisis will come. In fact, crisis doesn't end in business. You only grow through crisis management. If you're in business and you're praying to God to take away all the crises, or that you should never have a crisis, you're actually praying to God to keep you where you are and never grow. Yeah, all the men you're admiring right now across the globe, even in scriptures, were made out of crisis. They're made out of crisis. Without the lion's den, there is no Daniel. Without, the prison, there is no Joseph. You can just keep on listing the whole thing. The list continues. Everyone you admire right now were made and produced out of crisis. What makes you a conqueror is because you're able to conquer something. So how do we conquer business crisis? That's where faith for business comes in. You conquer by faith. And faith is acquisition of knowledge and application of knowledge, either spiritual or natural. In business, there are natural laws. In business, there are spiritual laws. The question is, what are they? The more you know these laws, the more you can actually operate in faith. Sorry, this device is actually ringing and I have to put it off so it doesn't distract us. So faith for business people can only be actualized if you acquire knowledge. For example, now, when I have crisis in business, what I ask myself is that, what exactly is the problem? Then I will now begin to ask myself, who has gone through this problem before? How did they come out of it? So I get books about that crisis and how they managed it. See, answers to prayer are mostly obedience to instructions. God cannot bless you beyond what you can manage. He doesn't bless you based on how much you cry, emotions, prayer point. Nah. God responds to you based on what you can manage. And management equals knowledge acquisition, and faith is knowledge applied, spiritual or natural. Okay? But people are destroyed because of lack of, not because they don't pray, or they don't fast, or they don't give. They are destroyed because they lack prerequisite knowledge about what they are praying for, or what they are asking. For example, now, faith in marriage. Then you're now reading a book on zodiac signs. You're wasting your time. You need to acquire information about parenting, love languages, how to manage emotions, how to manage your home. Then you cannot have faith in marriage. So let's come back to business. There are a lot of things to know in the marketplace. That this video is not meant to be long. It's just to wake you up to know what faith is in business. And you can go back to any of our previous sessions, on faith for business people, so you can know what the natural laws of business are and what the supernatural laws of business are, and then you'll be able to acquire them, then apply them when crises arise. And remember, the same way you cannot stop the sun and the moon, you can't stop, seasons in business. There are seasons of abundance, seasons of lack, there are seasons of rush, seasons of down moment. So how you can manage this season depends on what you know. Your leverage is your knowledge. Knowledge is power, but when it's only applied. You see? So what you know is not powerful until it becomes faith. That's why faith comes by hearing and hearing 2 times. The first hearing is when you're acquiring it. The second hearing is when you are no longer with that book, that audio tape, that podcast, that masterclass, and you can hear it from yourself, from within. All right. So faith for business people is equal to acquiring detailed knowledge based on what you're going through. If you have issue with marketing, read about marketing. Watch marketing videos. Learn marketing. If you have issue with sales, read about sales. Learn about sales. If you have issue with finances, watch finances. Read finances. Because what you can apply is equal to what you know. So your limitation is not in God, is within your mind, what you have not acquired. Because your spirit cannot help you beyond what is in your soul. You are transformed when your soul is renewed. And this journey doesn't have an end. Till we close our eyes and leave this realm, we will always learn. You die when you stop learning. So faith for business people equals acquiring knowledge based on the crisis you are going through. When we mention faith, people tie it down to crisis. And crisis doesn't end. It's either it kills you or it makes you. There are 2 stages. He said, it's either you go through it or you grow through it. Right? And how you grow through crisis is by acquiring detailed knowledge that leads, to the solution of that crisis. Praying during financial crisis, when the cause of that crisis is mismanagement, is an abuse of prayer, because you're supposed to acquire knowledge, about how to manage the crisis and how to not repeat itself. Then you begin to operate in faith. All right. The way Solomon did not ask God for miracles, he didn't ask God for money, he didn't ask God for anything. He asked God for wisdom. And what is wisdom? Knowledge applied. So indirectly, he was asking God for faith, meaning give me the ability to apply knowledge. Faith is the ability to apply knowledge in every areas of life. All right. So let us know this and know peace. Know this and know peace. All right. It's not going to be a long podcast or video, and I said it's a wake-up call. So the question is, what do you know that can solve the problem you are going through right now? That is the way out. Said you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So if you want to be free in any area of life or in business, we need the truth. Link into that problem. And like I said, it will not end. You can conquer one now, right? But expect another one. The way you have winter and summer, yeah. I think Brian Tracy and Jim Rohn always say the same thing, that business is about seasons. You can't avoid them. You can only outgrow them. So how do you outgrow this season? Is that they break you or they build you? How will they build you? Faith. Learning the right thing at the right time. And God bless you. Like I said, this is a wake-up call. Faith for business. And definitely you can reach out to the number on your screen for more conversation, for more questions, and then we can now expand on the natural laws of business and supernatural laws of business and how to apply them, which is faith. Stay blessed.